Somewhere along the way, I got a comment saying I should check out VR workouts. Actually, it said a lot of things, and as a man, I naturally ignored everything but the part I wanted to. In my opinion, this is a great video idea because it combines two things I really love. Spending money, have you seen my home gym? And I'm a big gamer, so why not spend hundreds of dollars on a topic that will not even make a tiny portion of it back? So here we are. Can you get fit with VR? As a technology teacher and wannabe influencer, it makes sense I cover this topic. Who better to explain how VR works than someone whose entire profession is pretending they have any idea what the hell they're saying? So, how does VR work? It's actually quite simple. You see, there's these goggles, and they have like fancy bits inside. Well, anyway, I don't want to bore you with all the details, so naturally I reached out on all of our socials to see what the greatest followers on Earth said we should try out. Wolfenstein 90s version, oh, okay. Wait, what? This is VR? This can't be right. Ah! Die, Nazi! Oh, let's pet this cute dog. All right, the true power of VR is that you can do things that you could pretty much already do if you just left your home, except you can stay home and do them. It's kind of like a home gym. So have you ever wanted to, you know what, maybe this is a bad example. Let's try another one. How about, this is so much weirder than the VR poor documentaries I've been spending so much time on lately. Maybe we should focus on the topic before I get myself into trouble. So let's get to work, which means accomplishing literally nothing as I wait for Wynie to stop playing Beat Saber. And killing red dudes. I'm not really sure what their problem is, but f those guys. And spending some quality time with this guy. Yeah, you like that, don't you, you dirty old man? Yeah, so these games will definitely get your bodies moving in interesting ways. And now that I'm a member of AARP, I couldn't let Bernice be the only one at the old folks' home that people were talking about. So naturally, I've been working on this video non-stop for weeks, which means I've gotten absolutely nothing done, but I've played a ton of games, and I've never looked so cool. But it's hard to argue with the fact that this thing will get you moving, sweating, and that heart racing. As long as that's what you're looking to do and you're playing the right games, you can definitely get a workout in. Now, there is a built-in calorie counting app called Oculus Move that once activated will track your calories burned throughout the apps, or whatever the algorithm determines based off your head and hand movements and your gender, height, weight, and age. But I've met enough engineers in my lifetime to know that we should be scared of literally everything they touch in this world. And in my short experiments with it, it's not accurate to my other trackers, but it's still a cool way to figure out how much you're moving. It also allows you to set goals for movement time, calories, and how many days a week you want to work out. So if you love numbers and stats like me, it's a cool way to keep you going. Now, if you're going to invest in one of these things, I wouldn't get too caught up in how you're going to look using it. And I mean, like, close the curtains and make sure your neighbors can't see you, because you're going to think you look like this. Yep. That's me in my Saturday night outfit. But really, well, yeah. Now, there are actual fitness games like Supernatural, but I didn't spend a whole lot of time on them because I was so busy working on the video, and definitely not just playing Beat Saber. And I have to admit, you can just cheat things in VR by just flicking your wrist, for example, rather than doing the full movements. But let's be honest, what form of exercise can't be cheated? But this is a great way to get you moving without the typical dread of actual exercise, because if you buy in, you're going to be moving your head, hands, and entire body, though your experience is going to be determined by the games you play, and we started based off the ones our subs recommended to us and branched out from there. Obviously, we spent a lot of time in Beat Saber, which is probably where I have most of my playtime, even if I look about as coordinated as a toddler when playing it. But it'll get you winded and moving. And though it's a lot of fun solo, Wynie and I mostly play party mode where we alternate and go back and forth to see who can beat who. And we've also spent a ton of time in Super Hot, which is definitely gonna get you moving in interesting ways. But it's a great experience and a ton of fun. Pistol Whip is another really popular game that was suggested to us. It's an arcade-style on-the-rail shooter that'll really get you looking around, ducking, and moving. And of course, there's Thrill of the Fight, which is a very intense slugfest, and I'm sure there's actual technique that they want you to use. But if you watch me play, you'd have no idea. But holy crap, anybody who questions whether you can get a workout in with VR needs to try this game. Now, to get results, it's like any other form of exercise. You need to be consistent and create a routine, essentially making it a part of your lifestyle. But the best part about this type of exercise is you can get lost in it. I'm not playing these thinking I'm here to burn calories, I'm just trying to have fun, and the exercise component isn't at the front of my mind. But this is always going to supplement what I do in the gym, which is never cardio. Now realize if you go with the Oculus Quest, or I'm sorry, the Meta Quest, that it's owned by good guy Mark Zuckerberg. But who better to trust with our lives than an actual robot? Which means to use it, you do have to log into Facebook, or whatever it's called now, to access the metaverse. But of course, there are other VR headsets out there. I just found this one to be a good value versus things like the Valve Index. Of course, you can sideload games, which is where I got some of these gems from, or you can play games off your Steam library using Virtual Desktop. Now, there's two issues with VR. The first one being money, because if you get the Oculus 2, which is the headset I have, it's $300 before you even buy a game. But don't worry about that. Just tell your wife how much quality time you'll be spending together as you try not to punch her in the face as she relentlessly taunts you and beats all your high scores. Listen, I'd be fine losing if she had any class whatsoever and didn't take such great joy in dancing around and taunting me. At least I used to have a hard time keeping up with Wynie and Beat Saber, but luckily she ran into a tree recently when playing paintball, so it's a lot easier now. If you do decide to get one of these things, I would recommend buying exactly what was recommended to me by my subs. And believe me, I didn't listen, and then I had to go buy it all later anyway. A silicone cover, which the Quest 2 now comes with, but it wasn't that great. So I bought one, and that's so you're not sweating into the foam pad, which sounds gross, but it's actually so much worse than it actually sounds. And a case to hold everything, because otherwise it all just sits out, though I suppose you could store it in the box it comes with or just throw it somewhere. The second issue with VR is it's really difficult to explain to somebody how fun and immersive it is without them actually experiencing it. So I would say, just trust me and use my affiliate link in the description to drop a few $100s. Don't worry, your family will love you for it and your wife will forgive you. But in all seriousness, it's a really cool experience that's still in its infancy. You do also need some space if you want to swing around and be as majestic as Wynie, but the actual equipment takes up almost no space. Now, don't go expecting to become the next Mike Tyson on one of these things, since there's no feedback on technique and things can be exploited, and I'm obviously not suggesting that you're going to have a better experience or this is going to provide better results than doing things in the real world, and you're obviously not going to pack on muscle like with actual resistance training. But it can be a great addition to your routine or just a way to move differently, and whether we like it or not. You can see companies are trying to figure out how to work tech like this into our lives. Necessary? No, but when done right, this is a really cool experience. Sure, the headset can get a little heavy and awkward at times, but I've had more fun with this thing than I ever would have imagined. So I highly recommend checking one out if any of the points I made in this video appeal to you. As a gamer, this is the coolest thing I've experienced in years. Now, as a fitness tool, I'm sure you can find a way to work it into your arsenal, but I'm not entirely sure it's the only reason I would purchase one of these things. Now, if you're enjoying this content, please subscribe, smash that like button, and throw some kind of comment into there to help us on the algorithm. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next week.